Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
What's going on, inmates of the asylum? This is Dr. Six. I'm here to discuss Tuesday night Smackdown Live results with you guys. As you can see, I think in this corner here, there is a brand new logo for Smackdown tonight. I've got, with that, the Smackdown Commissioner, Shane McMahon, and the Smackdown GM, Daniel Bryan, is pictured with that. And tonight we had a really good show. So far, kicking off from the Battleground Sunday. We've had 3 good, solid shows out of WWE. We had Battleground, Monday Night Raw, and tonight was pretty solid. It's shaping up to have the Cruiserweight Championships going to be decent, and probably NXT is going to be pretty decent because they're promoting for a Bayley-Asuka match to try to put Bayley back over again as the women's champion of NXT. So hopefully that shapes up too, because WWE, if they keep this momentum going that they have, their ratings will shoot back up again. I foresee that. This is starting to look like a cross between the old Attitude Era mixed with some of the Ruthless Aggression era. As me and my buddy Hayden was talking about, it's kind of got a Ruthless Aggression era-esque to it. Check him out. He is in my related channels, I think, similar channels. That's the little link that's on my page. I probably might have a link for his page in the description below. So check him out. He'll also be doing a review from tonight. And, we started out with Shane McMahon announcing that there was going to be a 6-pack match for the chance to have a, number 1 contender shot for the WWE Championship belt. And Dean Ambrose has got the championship belt. Now, he ended up announcing the 6-pack, and it's kind of sort of similar to what they did last night with the 2 Fatal 4-Ways on Raw, where it ended up giving Balor the chance to go against Rollins for the brand new Raw's exclusive championship of the WWE Universal title. This is kind of the same concept, but it's a 6-pack. They chose 5 of the 6. It was Cena, Styles, I think Corbin, Cena, Styles, Corbin, Ziggler, and one second here, and Bray Wyatt. My bad. So much has happened in the last few days. My mind's a little. So, but then the next thing that was announced was that there will be a battle royal for the 6th place, which started, that was the next thing that happened. I mean, as soon as everybody cleared out of there, the men that was left ended up having a battle royal for it. And the one that pulled that off on top for the battle royal was Cruz. And Cruz did pretty decent in this match. Not saying that it was the best. I still would like to know where this guy's neck went to. What the hell happened to Cruz's neck? I don't know. Did somebody jam Paulo's neck? Jam his head down in between the shoulder blades or what? But what happened to dude's neck? like I said, Cruz ended up pulling off the win. He celebrated, ended up doing a backflip right outside the ring and everything. Impressive match that they end up having for this Battle Royal. I always like Battle Royals. I love seeing how these guys can work with each other, all being in the ring. It was left down to Kane and him, and he, as Kane went to choke slam him, Cruz did some like weird flip, landed on his feet. Had walked over towards the ropes. Kane went to run at him. He pulled the rope down, and Kane went right on over. And that was all she wrote for that Battle Royal. And then we end up having the first of our, well, actually it was the only Divas match that really happened tonight, but it was the first of the Divas Revolution for the new Tuesday Night Smackdown Live. Their first match consisted of the rivalry still against Becky Lynch and Natalya. Now, Becky Lynch ended up pulling the win out. It was a pretty long, hard-fought match between Natalya and Becky Lynch, going back and forth for a little while. Becky Lynch finally locked that disarmer in after reversing the sharpshooter. As Natalya was trying to put her into the sharpshooter, she reversed that shit, put her right in the disarmer, and damn near ripped her arm off. Natalya had nothing to do but tap. Then we end up seeing, while Becky is celebrating, Alexa Bliss comes out, talking all this shit and all this smack. After her talking shit and smack, Naomi comes out, and she says her little piece, saying how is she going to talk this shit when she's never even stepped foot in this ring in the WWE yet, beyond the fact of being in NXT. You've seen a little spot of Carmella come out. Carmella started doing a little speech, talking about how badass she is, and then they end up having the All in Red. The girl in red, Eva Marie, came out, made her little appearance, just to make a statement, I think, that the Divas are here in SmackDown. Granted, we don't have the best talent like Raw does. But then again, I mean, Raw does have the Divas Championship, where SmackDown doesn't have a championship for the Divas. I honestly think that the women need a championship for SmackDown. I don't know why Shane didn't mention that tonight, or Daniel Bryan didn't mention that tonight. We need one for SmackDown, because unless they're going to use that women's championship belt, unless they're going to use that for the dual branding pay-per-views, and it can switch and change hands there, and it's not just an exclusive for Raw. If it is an exclusive for Raw, SmackDown needs to step their game up and create a new belt, because these women need something. Because of the fact that they're not as good as the ones that did get drafted to Raw, they shouldn't be treated like shit because of they're not that good. They will be there. They will get there. Then we end up having a little goofy-ass segment of Miz TV with Maurice out there, Maurice announcing her husband and all that bullshit like she always does. The Miz talks about how he's going to interview himself because he is the champion. So, he interviews himself, starting to interview himself. Randy Orton's music hits, and he comes out and has a few words to say to the Miz. There was a couple lines in there that I was quite shocked of. I'm not going to repeat them on this video. Have to go check those out if you want to see that. The episode of Miz TV tonight on SmackDown. But they were pretty downright rude, and I thought they were hilarious though. Kind of one of them one-liners like The Rock used to do in the back in the late Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression era, when he used to rip people apart with his little insults. But he had some good insults tonight on The Miz, and it was hilarious. Actually, I will say one of those. He come out and he talked about the Miz, who was doing a pretty good job of interviewing himself, and and the Miz is like, oh yeah, I'm good, and Randy Orton looked over, he said, yeah, he said, I knew you were good at playing with yourself. Hilarious insult. He ends up turning it into a match against the Miz for non-title. It was just a kind of like Orton's warm-up match, I guess you would call it, a little warm-up match. before SummerSlam, because Orton hasn't been in the ring since 9 months ago. I think it was. Since about 9 months ago was the last time that Orton was in the ring after he got that shoulder injury. So he, there's a little ring rust that he had to shake off tonight. And, I mean, it was impressive, though. He nailed the RKO, I think, 2 times. 2 times he nailed it. And the second time he nailed it, I mean, he could have won with that first one, but just to add insult to injury to The Miz, he hit him with the second RKO. And right there is when he ended the match. But that was a really good match. I really enjoy seeing Randy Orton wrestle. The Miz is decent on the mic. He can wrestle. It was a pretty decent match, though. We end up having Heath Slater come out talking about they need to change this 6-pack match into a Magnificent 7 or whatever the hell he called it. But while he was bitching in the ring about him being a free agent and he ain't signed and all that, and WWE needs to pick him up and he needs to be on SmackDown, fucking Rhino comes out and he gourds his ass right there in the middle of the ring. And I guess SmackDown has picked up Rhino on their roster now, which I'm kind of glad of. Rhino, if you guys have been watching NXT, has been in NXT. I think he's also been in WWE at one point. I know he was in ECW a long time ago. Like I said, there for a while, I quit watching wrestling because it just lost my interest. Just really wasn't my game anymore for a while. Because the fact is they lost the touch with the fans. So, I thought it was hilarious though that Rhino ended up spearing him, putting him right on his ass. Then we end up going into the main card match of the night, which was the 6-pack match. It was Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, John Cena. You had Apollo Crews, and you had AJ Styles. Now, what surprised me is I kind of thought the Eater of Donuts, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt would have actually won this one because of how they've been trying to push him lately. The funny thing is Dolph Ziggler pulled the win out after nailing AJ Styles with a super kick. AJ Styles come off the ropes, hit John Cena with a phenomenal forearm after Cena ended up taking out half of everybody with the AA, the Attitude Adjuster. He turned around and Styles hit him with that phenomenal forearm. As Styles got up and turned around, Ziggler nailed him with a super kick, and then the match was over at a 1-2-3. Now, my rating on this event overall, I'm going to give this out of a 5-star rating. I would give this at a probably a 3.5, between 3.5 and a 3.9. The reason being is it just wasn't quite as good as Raw. Raw had a lot more to it, but then again, Raw is also a 3-hour show where SmackDown's only 2. I really think that wrestling is starting to get a lot better. If they just keep this momentum up, like I said, they'll definitely start shooting up in ratings. If McMahon wants ratings, McMahon wants money, this is the way to go. Stop promoting merchandise like they was before. Promote your matches. Promote your rivalries. Promote your wrestlers, not their shirts. We could give a shit less about their shirts. We'll buy their shirts if if you guys don't promote your wrestlers right, if WWE doesn't promote the wrestlers right, who the hell's going to want to buy their shirt? Because they ain't going to know who these people are. Oh, look, that's just a cool-looking shirt. There's okay, whatever. Fuck that. We need to know who these guys are. They need to prove themselves. So stop promoting your shirts. Stop promoting merchandising. I know you guys rammed that down our throats yesterday about the whole thing of New Day's Bootios that's at FYE. Yes, we know that. If you actually have the app on your phone for the WWE app, you've probably got the notification that it went official. You can pre-order your Bootios. We know this. It's been posted online. There goes a cop siren. They're coming for me to take me out of the asylum. I have no fucking clue. I guess I'm that crazy. But I'm going to do enough ranting, or enough of my ranting. You guys take care of each other, take care of yourselves, stay heavy, my friends, and much love.